And she was like, oh, there's this lady. She's got a company. I'm going to buy stock in this company. And my sister doesn't talk about stock or anything like that, right? Like, it's like Martha Stewart. The company's going public, and Martha Stewart's amazing. And my sister was into this Martha Stewart, right? She does like home goods and stuff. And so I didn't know much about Martha Stewart. So I remember being in Rhode Island one week, and it was Saturday morning, and I got up.
Wait, she was into home goods and stuff?
Well, Martha,
like the
whatever.
Store.
Oh, no, Martha Stewart, whatever Martha Stewart does, the iconic Martha Stewart brand, right?
Well, home goods is a store.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, just whatever Martha Stewart does. I'm not into it. I'm not into that home stuff. So my sister's, you got to buy this stock. She's amazing. What do you think? And I don't know much about her. So I'm in Rhode Island. I remember where I was. I was in Rhode Island, and I was going to go out with my kids. And I turned on some like station, and I was just bouncing around or something, And there was a Martha Stewart show. And Martha Stewart was sitting there on the show, and she had like a paper clip and a Sharpie and an avocado pit and a candy cane, and she made an armoire out of it. And I'm like, what in the good God, that's talent. She took like these little parts, and she made this gigantic, and I'm like, that's talent. And I see the same thing when you watch the TV show Chopped. Right? You ever see the TV show Chopped, where they give you 4 ingredients? You get licorice, chicken broth, gumdrops, and basil, and you make a souffle out of it. And you're like, that's a good chef. Listen to this story on Bill Belichick. This is amazing. This is very Martha Stewart, very Chopped. I'll read you the opening line in the story. There's a left-footed punter from Louisiana Tech, a Super Bowl hero who once worked at Popeyes, the son of a Texas high school football coach who ended up dating Miss Universe. There's a linebacker from Kent State with a strong case for the Hall of Fame and a receiver who starred at La Crosse in college. With Bill Belichick making his 8th appearance in the Super Bowl as head coach on Sunday, each successive trip has prompted ways to further quantify and illuminate his genius as a coach and executive. The most glaring number for Belichick that separates him from the rest of the National Football League, 18 players on the Patriots' 53-man roster. This easily leads the league. It's triple most teams were undrafted. 18 guys on this team were undrafted. He's Martha Stewart. He's the chef on Chopped. You give him 4 ingredients. He makes a souffle. It's amazing. Here's the colleges that, wide receivers are the most talented guys in the NFL, right? For years and years, we believe that the greatest athletes in the NFL are wide receivers. Here's where the Patriots wide receivers went to college in this Super Bowl. Oregon State, Texas Tech, something called Monmouth, Rutgers, and Kent State. By the way, Philadelphia's receivers, USC, Florida, and South Carolina. You've heard of the SEC. It's pretty good. Jacksonville last week, their wide receivers went to USC, Penn State, Oklahoma, Auburn, and Miami, and their running backs went to LSU and Bama. Bill Belichick is working with receivers from Monmouth, Rutgers, and the 9th most popular college in Texas. And so whenever I see people say, oh, man, Philadelphia Eagles. You've been watching the Eagles all week wear those dog masks. They're the underdog. Okay, you're the underdog in Vegas. In your locker room, you've been talking trash. You think you have more talent. You're looking at Danny Amendola and Chris Hogan and Kenny Britt. You don't respect those guys. Be honest about it. Tom Brady didn't blow you away physically. You look at New England as a bunch of misfits, and you should, because New England's always viewed themselves as the underdog. They don't pay attention to the Vegas line. Even Tom Brady, their star, 6th-rounder, chip on the shoulder. I have to outwork everybody. The Vegas line may make Philadelphia as the underdog. But the greatness of this dynasty is New England is a compilation of underdogs. Even their coach has been in the shadow of Bill Parcells, and he was fired in Cleveland. That's what people don't get about this dynasty. Doesn't matter what Vegas says. In the New England locker room, they view themselves as underdogs. Philadelphia thinks they're better, talking trash like they're better, making promises like they're better. And here comes the receiver from Monmouth and Rutgers and Texas Tech and Oregon State. Philadelphia's wide receivers, USC, 5-star, Florida, 5-star. South Carolina, 5-star recruit, pampered, babied, beloved. Just saying. I was saying this I want to talk about LeBron for a second. So Kevin Love is out 6 to 8 weeks with a fractured hand. And, I was sitting around thinking this morning is that if you really look at why LeBron has left two places, he left Cleveland the first time, and we didn't think that. That's why they burned jerseys. Nobody thought he was going to leave Cleveland. Why did LeBron leave Cleveland the first time? And I always theorized here was the reason. Because LeBron played in the Olympics. He didn't play in the Olympics the first couple of years in the league, and eventually puts a few years into Cleveland, and he goes and plays at the Olympics, and he starts practicing with 12 other All-NBA players. And so that's ribeye steak. That's the Ritz-Carlton. Then he comes back to Cleveland, and it's flank steak, and it's the Motel 6 Cavs roster. And it really hit him. And this has happened to all of us. You're like, oh, damn. I'm wasting the good years of my life. I'm in a bad relationship. This has happened to all of us. It's a smack in the face. Wow, this is uneven. I'm way better than my teammates, not pushing me. I'm carrying these guys. How many of you guys or women listening have thought that in your life? So LeBron goes to the Olympics and practices for a month with all these great players for the first time in his life. He went from high school, didn't go to college. He went high school to the Cavs. The first time he got to play with great players was at the Olympics, and when he came home and he practiced again with the Cavs, he thought, I'm wasting years of my life. And then why did he leave Miami? Once again, team got old. D. Wade Bosh, Ray Allen Battier. He didn't want to be saddled with old guys. He felt it was an uneven, unhealthy relationship. He was carrying not only lesser players, but guys always getting hurt. I'm looking at this story on Kevin Love. Isaiah Thomas, 5'8", bad hip. Kevin Love out 8 weeks. D. Wade saving himself for big games. Has Derrick Rose even played? Tristan Thompson missed a month because of a calf injury. And I'm thinking, it's one of those moments, man. This is why he left Cleveland. This is why he left Miami. It's unhealthy now. I mean, he's always been the best player, but now it's physically unhealthy. It's uneven. He never gets hurt, and nobody in Cleveland can stay healthy. He is so out of Cleveland. He is so out of Cleveland. I put the LeBronzo meter in the garage. This week, I have brought it back. It is under construction, the LeBronzo meter. He is absolutely so done psychologically and emotionally with Cleveland. Once again, he's in a completely unhealthy and uneven relationship. If you're in one, get out. Hour 2 next, it's The Herd.
This is where the big dogs come.